What is up, guys? Welcome to the vlog. It is a new year, and that means new videos. And to kick things off, we're going back to a place that I've spent a lot of time, a place that I think is truly one of Mexico's hidden gems, and that is Puerto Escondido. Now, when you come to a new location, it's always a bit intimidating, and Puerto is no different. And so in this video, I want to be your guide to Puerto. I'm going to show you the best places to stay, some food recommendations, fun activities, and maybe a couple other things. That way, when you get to Puerto, you feel confident that you can get the most out of your experience. And to kick things off, let's get our bearings. Let's look at a map of Puerto. In this video, we're going to look at the map of Puerto Escondido from the eyes of a tourist. And when doing so, you can break up the map into 4 regions. There's the quieter upper area, the main Zicatella beach in the middle, an emerging Tamarindo area, and then the increasingly trendy La Punta at the bottom. Starting at the top, the upper area of Puerto Escondido is traditionally quieter. There are some nice resorts, boutique hotels, and vacation rentals scattered here, and it's where you'll find some of the prettiest beaches that Puerto has to offer. While a great place to lay low, it is at the edge of the touristy areas of town. So if you stay here, expect to taxi almost everywhere you go. Next is Zicatella Beach. This is the main drag and tourist central. Here you'll find the big hotels, tourist shops selling trinkets, and big beach clubs. Zicatella is by far the most popular area in town, but yet during the day it never feels too busy. Because it's so hot, many places along the beach don't open until later in the day, and in fact, it's quite common to see lots of empty or even abandoned beachside establishments. Despite its raw beauty, something about the Zicatella beach area has made it rather unhip with the younger crowd. Many travelers decide to buck the traditional big hotels found here for a more boutique or trendy experience, which gets us to the lower Tamarindo and La Punta region. These 2 areas are where all the cool kids are staying. If you're looking for trendy and hip, look no further, especially when talking about La Punta. La Punta is what I imagine Bali must have felt like 15 years ago. It's just the right mix of sandy beach town meets young, cool travelers. If you want to be where the action is, La Punta is where it's at, and where I prefer to spend most of my time when I'm in Puerto. You'll find beautiful palm tree-lined beaches, cute boutique shops, delicious food spots, and a thriving nightlife. Before we end the map section, we have to talk about getting around the city. Currently, there is no Uber in Puerto, but there is an abundance of cheap taxis. When you land at the airport, you'll find a certified taxi station that can set you up with a safe ride into the city for about 300 pesos or $15 US. And once you're in the city, expect to pay 50 to 100 pesos at the most, depending on how far you're going. And pro tip, before you jump in a cab, ask them how much it is. Doing this beforehand will almost guarantee you a lower price than asking for the price after you arrive at your destination. All right, now that we've got our bearings a little bit and you know where things are, let's talk about one of my favorite things in any place, and that is the food. Now, Puerto's food scene ranges from hole-in-the-wall tacos to fresh Mexican fusion to fancy dinners with sunset views. And if you're a foodie, there's never been a better time to visit Puerto. Oh boy. And in my opinion, some of the most exciting things happening in food are happening right in La Punta. What used to be only a handful of roadside restaurants selling tacos and burritos has turned into a thriving food scene. One of the biggest trends I saw while I was there were these food stall collectives. In the evenings, these places were packed with people hungry for food and a fun atmosphere, and the La Punta food scene didn't disappoint. Wow, that is good. Dang, maybe I gotta start eating fish. Now, admittedly, there are too many good places to list them all off here, but I'm gonna leave a list in the description below with some of my favorite spots that I think you should definitely check out. Bon appetit. All right, we are fueled up fed, ready to go, which is perfect because the next thing we're going to talk about are some of the most popular activities to do while you're here in Puerto. Life in Puerto Escondido revolves around the water, and as a result, so do most of the popular tourist activities. Kicking things off, we have whale and dolphin watching.
We might see whales, we might see dolphins, we might see fish that we're gonna catch.
If there's ever been a good reason to wake up at 7 a.m., it's to go see whales and dolphins. Puerto Escondido is well known for its population of spinner dolphins, who can be seen almost all year round. These huge families of dolphins will come right up to the boat and get so close you can almost touch them. And if you're lucky, you'll also be able to spot huge humpback whales migrating off the coast. Trust me, this is one of those must-do activities if you're coming to Puerto. For pricing, expect to pay around $25 per person for these tours. Now, for the slightly more adventurous, there is deep sea fishing. This is one of those activities that I had never done before this trip, but it was amazing. We spent about 5 hours in the water fishing with our guide, and in addition to seeing whales and dolphins, we got to catch some huge fish.
Oh, this is a strong fucking gun.
Oh my god.
Trust me when I say there is nothing like the excitement of having a several 100-pound fish fighting on the line.
Beautiful.
Wow! We got 2 fish!
Is he dead? Is he dead?
And as a bonus, whatever you catch, you get to keep and can even go to a small local restaurant where they'll cook it up fresh for lunch. For pricing, expect to pay around $35 to $45 per person, and in the description, you'll find the number to our guide Javier, who does both dolphin watching and deep sea fishing. Next on the list is a fan favorite, and that is turtle releasing. Found on Bococho Beach every evening around 5 p.m., here you can meet the local conservation team who will help you learn about their efforts and will allow you to safely participate in releasing one of these adorable guys into the water. Arrive a little early to sign up and bring around 100 to 150 pesos with you as part of the donation to the conservation group. This is a great end-of-the-day activity, and I have personally done it 3 times here in Puerto. The last of the main activities I would recommend is to go surfing. Puerto is known for its surfing, and there are 2 main spots where you can find it. One is in La Punta at the end of the beach close to the rocks, and the other is in Playa Quetzalilla. Both are great for beginners, with the waves in La Punta being bigger and more consistent, and the waves being a bit smaller and more gentle at Playa Quetzalilla. Surfboard rentals and lessons are fairly cheap, and you can find people offering them right on the beach. Then, as an honorable mention, if you're into skydiving, there is an active skydiving community here that offers jumps almost every day. Whew, after all those activities, I bet you're thinking to yourself, all I want to do is sit on the beach and drink margaritas. In fact, that's probably one of the main reasons why you want to come to Mexico in the first place. So, the next thing on my list are my favorite beaches in Puerto. Now, when we look at a map, there are 6 beaches that stand out and are worth visiting in Puerto. Starting at the bottom, we have La Punta. This is one of my favorite easy-to-access and casual beaches. This is where you'll find a lot of the younger locals, and I recommend it for swimming, surfing, beachside food and drink service, and the best place to watch the sunset with friends. Moving up the map, you have Zicatella. Zicatella features a beautiful light sand beach stretching about a mile down the coast. It has pristine coconut palms and beachside restaurants. While beautiful, the waves here are rough, and it is not a great place if you're looking to lounge and swim. Next up is Manzanilla. This is one of our favorite spots for an afternoon at the beach. With a beautiful cove that provides protection from the waves, you can easily spend an entire day here snorkeling and swimming. A favorite with locals, there are dozens of beachside restaurants that will allow you to rent a sunbed and order food and drinks. Just a bit up the way is Playa Quetzalilla, one of the prettiest beaches in all of Puerto. Like Manzanilla, this beach is tucked away in a secluded little cove and provides a great spot for swimming and small wave surfing. The one caveat, though, is that you should bring everything you need with you. There are no places to buy sunscreen or towels here, and sunbeds can be limited on a busy day. The next 2 beaches are the most secluded on our list and are connected. The first is Playa Bococho. This long stretch of beach is easily the most private of all the beaches, as it is the farthest from the tourist central. But it features several resorts and lots of beautiful palm trees, and is one of my favorite spots to take beach photos. And as we mentioned before, it is also where the sea turtle release happens. Last but not least is a somewhat secret beach called Playa Corral. A short walk across the rocks from Bococho, you'll find this little hidden cove featuring a gorgeous white sand beach. If you're wondering if you're in the right place, look for the abandoned water park. This beach is one that most people don't bother searching for, but when you get there, it feels like your own private beach. If you have some extra time in Puerto, this place is definitely worth finding. And with that, those are my 6 recommended beach spots in Puerto. All right, so we've talked about where to stay, how to get around, food spots, activities, beaches. But honestly, that's just kind of scratching the surface in what Puerto has to offer. And what we've talked about is mainly kind of the touristy stuff to do while you're there. There's so much authentic Mexican culture and flavor that we didn't even get a chance to talk about, but that if you go to Puerto, you should 100% explore, and I encourage you to do so. And if you do find cool things to do in Puerto that I didn't talk about, put them in the comments below, because I'm going to be back to Puerto and I'm going to see and explore more, so I'd love your help. That's kind of where I'm going to end this video. If you found it helpful, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. But the show is over. The vlog is done. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. All right, one last piece of advice, and that is to give yourself plenty of time between your connecting flights, because we had a flight from Puerto to Mexico City, then Mexico City back to Canada, but our flight in Puerto was 2 hours late, and so we didn't make the connecting flight, and now we were staying an extra night in Mexico City and then flying out the next day. So the flights out of Puerto are famous for being late, so give yourself plenty of time if you're going to have a connecting flight back home. That's it, guys. I'll see you in the next one. We're exhausted. We're staying the night in Mexico City. I'm out of here. Stasia, she's out of here.
I got advice. It ain't all scooters and rainbows and dolphins around here. Show's over. Vlog's done.
Oh, you're getting the real, raw, uncut. We'll see ya.
I'm only uncut.
Peace out.